Okay, number 16 says two brokers split the 6% commission equally on the sale of a one-bedroom condo. What was the sales price of the condo if the selling salesperson earned a commission of $1,074, which is 40% of his broker's share? Okay, so we know that the salesperson's portion was $1,074. That was his part of the commission. We know that was 40% of the broker's portion. So if we divide this by 40%, then we will find the broker's commission, which is $2,685. So this is broker's commission. Okay, we also know that they split 6%, the brokers did. So if they split 6%, 6% divided by 2 is 3%. So the broker's portion was 3% of the sales price. So we can divide the broker's commission by 3% to find the sales price. When you do that, that is $89,500. So the answer is D. We are going to skip number 17 because the wording is wrong to me. In my opinion, it says your earned commissions for 1 month. So it looks like the numbers are the commissions, but how it shows you to work it out and how it solves the problem is to find 8.5 of these. So I'm not doing 17. I think it is written incorrectly. So I'm going to skip to 18. 18 says a salesperson is working on a 50-50 split with his broker. The agent sells a tract of 1,800 acres, bringing in a contract for $1,500 per acre. The listing agreement calls for 10% commission on the first $250,000 and 5% on everything over that amount. How much will the agent receive? Okay, so we need to find the sales price of the tract. So we know that it was 1,800 acres, and each acre sold for $1,500. So that is in my calculator. So 1,800 acres times $1,500 an acre is $2.7 million. Okay, it also says 10% on the first 250. Okay, so for $250,000, he is going to make 10%. So he will make $25,000 on the first 250, and then 5% on everything over that amount. So let's take the sales price, subtract out the 250 that he got 10% on. You do that, that is $2,450,000. Okay, so we know that he makes 5% on this portion. When you figure that out, that is 122,500. Then we need to add in the 25,000 from the first 250. When you do that, it's 500, 147,500. Oh, sorry. He's working on a 50-50 split. So we need to divide that by 2. And when you do that, you get 73,750. So your answer is D. Number 19. Number 19 says a salesperson is working under agreement with the broker. For in-house sales, the broker retains 40% of total commission, and the listing and selling salesperson split the remaining 60, with 1/4 going to the listing salesperson and 3/4 going to the selling salesperson. The salesperson lists a piece of land for $325 with 7% commission on the first $150 of the sales price and 10% on anything over $150. Another salesperson in the office brings a buyer, and the land sells at $279. How much did the listing person receive? Okay, so we know that the sales price was $279. On the first 150, they get 7%. So on the first 150, they get 7% commission. So when you do the math on that, the commission comes out to $10,500. Okay, and let's figure what was left over. So 279 minus 150 is 129. So on the leftover, anything over that, they get 10%. So if we multiply this by 10%, that is 12,900. Okay, so if we find the total commission, then we can figure out the split. We just need to figure out how much the total commission is first. So the total commission on this, we're going to take the portion on the first 150 and add it to the commission made on the leftover. When you do that, that is 23,400. So this is your total commission. Okay, we know that the broker took the 40%, so the selling salesperson split the remaining 60, and they split it up. The listing person, which is how much we need, gets 1/4 of 60%. So let's find out what 60% is of that, of the total commission. When you do the math on that, that is 14,040. This is what the listing salesperson and the buyer's agent is going to split. We are looking for the listing salesperson, and it says that 1/4 of this goes to the listing salesperson. So 1/4 into a decimal is 0.25. So we can multiply this by 0.25 to figure out the listing agent's commission, which is 3,510. Your answer is B. And number 20. Number 20 says a salesperson lists and sells a home for $825,000 at a 7.5% commission. How much does she receive after her broker takes 20% and a $300 transaction fee? Okay. So the sales price is $825. The commission rate is 7.5%. So we're going to multiply by the commission rate to find out what the total commission is. When you multiply that out, that is 61,875. How much does she receive after her? So her broker takes 20%. If her broker takes 20%, then that leaves 80% for her. So 100% of the commission minus 20% equals 80%. If we change this into a decimal, that is 0.8. That is her portion that she receives. So if we multiply this by 0.8, that gives her commission. And when you do that, that is $49,500. And then there is a $300 transaction fee that we need to take out. So she takes home $49,200. Your answer is B.